What's going on, you guys? I got a little project I'm doing right now with this Kemper where I'm working on just adding some detailed parts to this. So what I did is I tried to do some scribing, but I don't really have quite the skill set and tools to get around some of these curvature angles right here. So what I plan on doing is adding just some parts or some extra pieces onto this to give it more of an aggressive look. So what I did is I got these fins from Gundam Builder Parts here. And the Gundam Builder Parts, you can buy the MS blades. And they have different styles of blades, as you can see. So you have a rod blade. Let me turn it around. So you have a rod blade. You have a rod. If that's what this is, right? Yeah, a rod blade. You have a fin blade, and then you have an antenna blade. You can see all that right there. So you have the antenna blades, and you have a couple of different varieties, and then you have the rod blades, or the fin blades, and then the rod blades. So you have a couple of different options for building parts here. And so what I did is I took one of the fins blades and I put it right on top of here, and kind of gave it like a kind of aggressive, like kind of pointed blade just for the side of the arms or the forearms, just so it has like a little bit more of an aggressive look. I'm going to show you what I did next is I decided to put this little what would you call it, like kind of gear piece on there on the side. I'm going to show a better picture of this here in just a second. So I kind of wanted to show this piece again here with the fin on it, and then I kind of wanted to show what it looked like before I put all that stuff on there. Well, I mean, it still have the fin on the top of this guy, but as you can see, there's a hole right there, and that hole right there is a 1.2 millimeter hole that I screwed in, and it works really well for these particular pieces that I have here, because I'm going to try to show it right here. I don't know if you can see. That's not a good example. Let me try this guy here. That's a little better looking. I don't know if you could see. I'm trying to... You know what? I'm going to take some tweezers here. I'm going to try to show this off. I don't know if you can see with the tweezers. You can see there's a little nub. And that little nub is that 1.2 millimeter hole that I'm going to stick right there inside of there to give it more structurability when I glue this down. The glue that I'm going to be using is this right here, which is Tamiya extra thin cement. I like this for it depends. I mean, the deluxe cement's good too. I like the deluxe cement more for like mending a part together. But when I'm trying to just glue little pieces together, this stuff's kind of my go-to. And I like this as well for, I don't know if you could see, but I tried to do some scribing and I didn't like the lines. So I kind of wanted to fill this back in so you wouldn't see the lines or the indentation of the line. And you can use this glue kind of, I would say lightly, and it will fill in your spots again. And then you sand it down and it kind of gives it, it takes out those lines that, you know, if you messed up on, it won't show apparent after you paint over it. If I put more glue on here too, I can sand it down even more, and it would, if I wasn't going to paint this, it would even look, I could probably make it look like it was again. And I could take a little bit of maybe some tip pieces of the same color from one of the runners and mix it in with the glue, and it would melt into the parts. So I could probably sand this right back down to what it looked like again, even though it would kind of look a little rough like this if I left it like this without painting over it. But I wanted to show too these parts by Apex, and these parts are 3D printed parts, and you get a bunch of different sizes of these little circle, kind of like, I wouldn't call it a gear piece, but a gear cover piece. And they have these 3D printed sheets that you can see that have kind of, I don't know if you can look at the very bottom, kind of right underneath there, but those are what they call trees that connect onto the sheet to make this print, right? But you got to be careful when you're breaking off these trees, because you want to keep that little nub that I was talking about. You want to keep that nub on there as much as possible, so when you do screw this hole in, you can achieve that structurability that you want once you glue it on, so it doesn't just come off later on in time. I just kind of wanted to point that out and show those parts that I'm using and how I kind of did that. And hopefully that's some stuff that you guys can use later on to help you guys out and inspire you and give you some new maybe tips and pointers just to get your game going. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon.